Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm Cheri Duckworth, and today joining me is Maher Maso from the city of Frisco. Thanks for coming back to talk with us again.
Cheri, it's always fun to come and visit with you.
You become one of the friends of Joy in Our Town, and we're so glad that you're here. We love the city of Frisco.
Well, thank you. Y'all do such a great job. This is really what Frisco is about, so we love highlighting our city with you.
That's wonderful. Now, every time you come back, we always talk about the growth,
yes,
because it just continues to change. What are some of the major changes that you're seeing right now in the city?
Well, it's pretty much most of the same thing, but on a much higher scale. For example, we talked last time about going from 5 schools to 56 in the main school district in 15 years. Well, they have 4 more under construction right now, 2 more high schools, so fairly large facilities, and a middle school and elementary school. So that hasn't slowed down. Everybody's still bringing families and children to Frisco. We are past 130,000 people, so the growth is still really hitting us, and we think we're going to go pretty close to 2,200 new homes this year, which, you know, last year we did what we thought was a really high number, 1,600 new homes. This year we think we'll have 600 more to that. So.
Oh my goodness. Now, obviously with growth, especially growth that is that exponential and happening so quickly, there are challenges. What are some of the challenges that the city is facing with this kind of growth?
Well, as you can imagine, that many people moving at once, education, roads, water. But the really good thing is Frisco has done a good job, in my opinion, for the master plan. What will the city look like when it's done? So that's been a guiding factor for us. So again, we have a lot of roads under construction. We know we need them. We have a lot of water and sewer, a lot of the typical things you see, the infrastructure, to be able to handle that growth. But fortunately, we have planned ahead, and we know what we need to do. So it's working. You
almost have to be like fortune tellers and psychics to see what's going to happen for the future. How do you go about planning ahead with these kind of challenges? What does it look like when you sit down with the council and go, okay guys, today we're going to hit this today?
Well, it's really neat the way we do it, I think. It's all, again, born from the comprehensive plan. And how the comprehensive plan is created is through our citizens. We create a citizen committee and stakeholder committee, so all the business owners and residents and all the people that have a stake in Frisco get together. We appoint a committee, and they work for over 2 years with a professional consultant to put together the master plan, and every few years we'll go and revisit it. So it is a community effort. You know, the government shouldn't tell the people what it should look like, you know, the city should look like. Our residents decide, and what they've decided over the years is public safety is one of the highest priorities, and education is one of the highest priorities, and you know, the streets. So they give us the roadmap, and we make sure the decisions we make follow that roadmap.
I think you're a great example for other cities to look at, and the fact that you give your residents such a voice in order to be a part of that master plan, because it is their city.
Yes, absolutely.
So what are you seeing when it comes to education? How are you meeting that challenge with growth and really helping families feel like their kids are really, you know, being paid attention to with all of the families that are multiplying in the city?
Sure. Well, one of the key things, a lot of people do not know that Frisco has 4 school districts. Frisco ISD, Louisville ISD, Prosper ISD, and Little Elm ISD. So, but our largest one is Frisco ISD. And one of the good things Frisco has done is we've created a partnership with our ISDs. For example, with Frisco ISD, the stadiums you see, the focus on sports for the youth and the families,
yes,
everything was done together. The high school kids play football and soccer in the Major League Soccer Stadium, FC Dallas, for example. So that partnership has allowed us to really flourish. And the partnerships are so many, it's hard for me to touch on them all, but some of the key ones, for example, is the Mayor's Youth Council. We work together with the school district and give a place for our teens to be involved with the community, be involved with government. And in turn, they've returned the favor by creating programs for elementary school kids, like a day with the mayor, or they have the dodgeball tournament for teens. So it's a collaborative effort. The city has been built through many different partners working together for the good of the community.
It sounds like you're really creating a culture where the citizens have a voice. I mean, as young as having, you know, your elementary school kids coming to talk with you, and having the teenagers on the council. How do they get to be a part of that? How are they chosen, or how do they get to contact you, you know, directly? What does that look like? How do those work?
Well, sure. We have an open door policy, and in fact, fact, the Mayor's Youth Council, some of the things you've seen in our city has been driven by them. The no smoking ordinance was really something they wanted, or as simple as a Whataburger in town, because the kids like Whataburger.
Yes.
So those things have really been part of that, but they apply at the beginning of the year, and then they create their own programs and their own projects. We let them actually run their program. And one of those that came up that's really neat was the Day with the Mayor. The teens told us that when the elementary school kids get into middle school, that's when you lose them. That's when they start hanging out with the group they're going to hang out with. And by the time they get to high school, they're set in their ways. And so they told us, because they were that age not too long ago,
right,
we need to do something for the elementary school kids before they get into middle school. So they created the Day with the Mayor, and each elementary school, so over 34 right now, chooses one fifth grader to come and spend the day with me. We go bowling and ride in a police car and fire truck and fire safety town and just have a great time. Well, it worked great, because now the third graders and fourth graders hear about this program, and they want to be that one child that's chosen out of that school.
Yes.
And how to be chosen is be a good citizen. You know, be respectful of your teachers, your parents. Not necessarily about grades, but give back. For example, one fifth grader spends her recess helping a special needs child in kindergarten during her recess time. And she didn't think anything of it. You know, when you ask them, why do you think you're here? Well, I don't know. It's those kind of stories that are just an amazing part of our city.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's great that you all are meeting the challenge, the issue that you have of growth and the rapid growth, by finding these different ways for kids to be involved in the community, keeping them involved with the city council, letting them have a voice and what it looks like. So as you continue to grow, it perpetuates that culture of being involved, staying connected, and giving back to their own community. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because I think that's easy for cities to lose that feel, right, especially when they grow as fast as Frisco is growing.
Sure.
Definitely. Now, transportation obviously is going to be something that everyone, you know, always wants to know about, how your city goes about addressing that particular issue, again, with as fast as you all are growing.
Sure. That's a really important question, because it's not just us, it's also North Texas. You know, I serve on the what we call the Regional Transportation Council, which is 7 counties, so a lot of cities are part of it, and a lot of the federal funding and the state funding goes through that organization, because it doesn't help anybody if we build a really good road in Frisco and as soon as they hit our border it stops.
Exactly.
So we have to work together. So that's very important. I'm also president of the Metroplex Mayors Association, where we get together as mayors in North Texas and talk about ways we can partner up. And one of those is, as you just mentioned, is transportation. Very difficult, because roads are very expensive, and it's very difficult to stay in front of it because they take a long time to design and build. But fortunately, our residents have helped fund them. They approved bonds to build roads, and planning is the key. Knowing where your subdivisions are and knowing how to work with your partners. Many of the roads are TxDOT roads or NTTA roads. They're not all Frisco roads, so we have to work together, and we've done that.
And with the multiple school districts, obviously working together to get kids from point A to point B in all those school districts, how does that work when it comes to transportation of your students?
Sure. Now, each school district's independent. They have their own busing systems, but again, we work with them when we design the roads.
Right.
And sometimes, for example, with Frisco ISD, they've built a road we weren't ready to build, and we funded it later for them. So there wasn't yours or mine. It was what is best for the kids, what's best for the city. Yeah. And that's unique. To us, that's normal. But it's amazing to me when I visit other cities around the state, sometimes they put up this wall and they become very territorial. I don't know how they get anything done, frankly. Without that kind of partnership, Frisco wouldn't be successful, and everyone benefits. So if anything else I would share with any of those cities is really put politics aside, go visit with your partners, and you'll be amazed what you can get done.
Definitely, and with transportation, having that community effort, having that open door policy, being able to talk to the surrounding communities, to link everybody together, I think it's a great example of what you're doing to really help people be able to, you know, commute.
Yeah,
just
it's important, right?
Just to live life and to get from point A to point B.
You don't want to spend it in the car.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, tell us a bit about what you're doing with the governor right now, because economy is a huge issue, you know, for the state of Texas. But we want to hear how it's influencing Frisco and you specifically as the mayor. Sure.
Well, that's a really good question. Texas obviously is a very successful state, job creation. And as we talk about when the team is winning that football game in the third quarter and they end up losing, well, you can't ever quit working towards your goals. So the governor had appointed me to the Select Committee on Economic Development. And that committee was created through legislation to take a look at all the policies Texas has in economic development and make recommendations to the legislature. Well, we finished that work up, and the legislature is now almost done with their work. And it was an effort to look at the things we did well and improve them, and try to identify the things we didn't do well and improve them. And I could almost hear the other states really getting concerned because we were already successful. But that was to the governor's credit, and the lieutenant governor and speaker of the House and the entire legislature. They were thinking ahead that, you know, it's working now, but what do we do to make sure it continues to work? Because job creation is very important. Families need to be able to work to provide for their family, and to us that's critical. Unfortunately, I was chosen to represent all the cities in Texas because I was the only city official on this committee. And due to Frisco's success, we have created a lot of jobs, and I think we do it right.
I think you do too. Can you tell us kind of some of your secrets about how you have really helped Frisco to be able to economically really stay on top of things?
Well, it's a team effort. Our entire council and all the partners we just spoke about are part of that.
Right.
It's not rocket science. A company moving to town or relocating to our city, the same things that are important to you and I are important to them. They want a good, educated workforce. So education is critical to them. Having schools and colleges in the area that they can hire the right kind of employees is one of the first questions they ask. And they want to bring their good employees with them when they relocate here, so they want to make sure that their children have a good place to go to school. So education is one of the top things. The other is public safety. No one wants to work in a place that's not safe. No one wants to bring a company or live in a place that's not safe. So our citizens have allowed us to invest in the right kind of way in our police and fire and public safety initiatives. And as such, we're rated one of the safest cities in the country. And that's a big deal to companies. And of course, you know, they want government to stay out of their way. Companies really they do things well, and they don't want excessive bureaucracy or regulation. And I think Frisco does that well, and all of Texas does that well. We make sure the environment is conducive for them to meet their goals. Meanwhile, our residents benefit. So we're very cautious about over-regulating, and in fact, we take the opposite stance. We get together with our local corporations on a regular basis and ask them, what can we do for you? You know, well, is there anything we can help you with to make your job easier? And that's worked really well for us.
So the city really serves those businesses instead of, as you said, putting out regulations. You're coming to them saying, what can we do for you? And you're serving them as a city.
Absolutely. They are part of our success. The government doesn't build buildings and doesn't really create a lot of jobs. It's the companies. You have to treat them with respect. And our citizens want that because they want to work locally. They want to have a good workplace. And so everyone benefits. We don't take the position of it's us against them.
Right.
We take the position of we're all in this together. What can we do to make this the best city in the country?
Well, with such a servant mentality, I think that it's no surprise why economic development is what it is and why people want to come and grow their businesses in your city, or why people are wanting to move to Frisco, especially with all of the community outreach that you all have and how you want to get people involved. And you always make sure your residents' voices are heard and a part of what's going on. So you're really meeting the challenge of growth well in your city, and I think you're a great example of that. And we just want to thank you, Maher Maso, for coming and talking with us again here at Joy in Our Town. We really enjoy every time you come to see us.
Well, I'm very, very thankful you allowed me to come here. I enjoy speaking with you, and you know, how blessed am I to be the mayor of the most dynamic city in the country. You know, every day I wake up and say, how did I get here? How lucky am I? And it's a team. It's a great team, and I'm fortunate to be around many good people that I learn from.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you again so much, and thank you all today for watching Joy in Our Town.
Don't you just love running water? It's like a little tiny water